Hello, and welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and this is Richard. So this is my general kitchen cook area equipment for when I do camping and outdoor survival. Now there is over 8 different cook kits that I have here, and there's several variations that would add on to that with them. But what I'm going to do is go through some of these cook kits and talk about how I use them and particular instances and which ones I like better than others for certain things. Alright, first of all, I'm going to talk about the cook kit that I generally like and use the most. And it's this pan. This little object, I have no idea what I would call this, but I found this at a junk shop, and it's a tea light candle holder, tea light candle down here. I'm assuming at one time there was a bowl here of some sort that heated up some herbs or something with the tea light, and this Dollar Tree can of fancy heat. Now, I ended up having to take a couple pieces of metal and bending them like this to make some adjustments to the kit that make it work really well. But let me show you how I generally use this. Alright, so I can place a tea light candle down here in this right here. And then this pan sits perfectly on there, and the tea light candle, if that tea light candle could heat this up. I've never gotten the tea light candle to heat this up enough to do anything. I could use a smaller pan, but after the tea light candle didn't exactly work with this pan, I used some of this fancy heat, and it worked perfectly. It sits right in there just like that. Now, when I went to set the pan on it, it would sit right on top of the flame and put it out. So, what I did was, I fashioned these little pieces of metal that I sit on here, like so, just like that. And it acts as a grate, and then I set my pan on top of that. So it can sit the canned heat in there. Then I can place these makeshift grate that I made right there, and then my pan just sits right on top of that. Gives it plenty of space for the heat, and this does work. I make all kinds of stuff out of this. And I have to say, this system right here is generally my favorite system that I like to use when I'm out, because it's very compact, because of course the heat fits in there, and then this fits nicely right into this pan, and then these just sit right in there, and it's all compact. I found the pan at the same junk shop. I found this little metal thing. I found this pan at the same junk shop, and very inexpensive. I think the pan cost me $1, and I think that this metal thing cost me $1 as well. So I spent $2 on it, and then the canned heat you can get at the Dollar Tree, another $1, and then I fashioned these metal grate for nothing. So $3, and I've got myself a $3 cook kit. Alrighty, so here's the next cook kit that I use on occasion, and I like this one. This one isn't too bad. I've done a lot of small cooking on this one, but what it takes is a bowl, which I get at the Dollar Tree, this little stove cover, which again I get at the Dollar Tree, the fancy heat or canned heat, which you can get at the Dollar Tree. That sits in the bowl, and this little cover fits straight on top of that, just like that. Now, the only added thing that I have, other than what I'm going to place on top to cook with, is I have 3 of these pull tab tins that come off of canned food. Just insert them on the edge right there, and they're very secure. The flame is still right here in the middle. Be right here in the middle. And then I put my pot on top of those, and I heat my water up, or whatever, my soup or whatever I'm cooking. I do cocoa and stuff a lot with this cook kit right here. But this is another cook kit. Now there is a variation to this that I have used a few times, which isn't necessarily as secure. So I flip this over and set it up here like this. And it does slide a little bit, but it gives the natural air, and then the top here, and that just sits just like that, and it heats it up. I have had a few comments where people tell me that that's dangerous, and for those people, I say, well, it's not really dangerous to me. It's never been a problem. But you can get these little clips, and I can stick these on this edge here, just like this here, and although it doesn't stop it from moving, it does really help a lot. And there we go. Alright, now this cook kit is really super simple, and I use this one a lot, especially with my grandson. All this is some Dollar Tree heat, canned heat, fancy heat or whatever. And this here is a mushed up aluminum pan that has holes in it. And again, Dollar Tree. So basically all you need to do is take a pot or a bowl or something and form it around, and then you get your nice little shape like this. All I do is take my heat, this goes on top just like that, it lights up, there it is, just like that. Seth and I cook eggs and all sorts of stuff on this thing. It holds skillets, it holds flat plates, it holds bowls, it holds all sorts of things. But I've got several videos up on my channel where Seth and I have made eggs. He loves to make eggs, and we use this several times. But this is another really good cook kit that I use a lot. And it's very disposable, and it's very lightweight, and it's inexpensive. So just this right here is $1. If you wanted to, you could build a small little pit, a little hole, place this over the top of the hole, and you could use fire wood or whatever you wanted to start a fire down there. Boom, right there. Alright, here's my next kit. I have a little camp kitchen, a little camp stove in here, and taped on the front is a small piece of magnifying glass, plastic magnifying glass that for fire. And then here I got a lighter wrapped with some bread tie in this Dollar Tree right here. These little shrimp skewers or whatever they are, I think they're called shrimp skewers, Dollar Tree. Alrighty, so this folding stove, I don't really recall where I purchased this. It could have been at Walmart, the Ultimate Survival Gear. Might have been Walmart. But anyway, it's very simple to use. This just folds out. There we go. This folds out just like that. There's the fuel right there, and that's a camp stove in itself. You can just put the fuel right down in there, piece of it. Put your pan right on there. Alrighty, this right here, these little shrimp skewers I got from the Dollar Tree, and this little basket, metal basket thing I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, this one particular I haven't used yet. You can clearly see that the plastic hasn't been burned off on it or anything, but this is how it works. I simply take these skewers and stick them into the ground at the 4 different points, and then these little small fork-like ends will hold up this basket, and then underneath the basket I can place any type of fire starter I want. I can use this camp stove, I can use some of this heat, I could build a small fire underneath it, whatever I wanted to do. But this right here is going to act as a grill. Once it gets burnt, all this plastic and stuff gets burnt off of it. But these here just shove down into the ground as deep as you will need them to go, and then that just sits on top of it just like that on all 4 corners, and then you got yourself a nice little grill. And again, this is extremely compact and inexpensive. I use bread ties to tie a lighter right there. Use a couple bread ties to tie these steaks onto the back side, and this folding stove fits right inside there. There's an entire cook kit right there, just a few inches square.